Hello everyone and welcome to the last battle of round 3 of Battle of the Beast New Generation, episode number 45. As I said, this is the last battle of round 3. So, we got 3 beasts fighting, well we got 3 beasts remaining here. And 2 are making it through to round 4 with the other 5 that's already made it through. However, we know there's already 1 that already made it through by automatic skip. So, I'm going to introduce this beast that skipped at last after I introduce the contestants. So, with that being said, let's get to the contestants. So, the beasts that are fighting here. They are 2 rather interesting beasts. I would have loved to see both of them make it through to round 4. However, due to rather funny but rather very poor matchups, I'm afraid, but actually does link to a previous battle I did. It's one of them's going to need to die, which I'm kind of sad, but kind of laughing at the matchup here. So, representing Series 19, the Kingdom of Dragons, the last beast remaining of that series, the Slayer of ELECTRO the Stormbird in episode number 25, and the Slayer of Krokol, the Father of Fear, in episode number 39, book number 4, Strytor the Strytor. And now, in the other corner, representing Series 25, the last beast remaining of that series, the Prison Kingdom, the Slayer of Wrathcore, the Stampeding Brute, in episode number 14, and the first beast to make it through to round 3 from killing THORON, the Living Storm, in episode number 27. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lycaxa, Hunter of the Peaks. So, now the reason why I find this matchup hilarious is that in episode number 39, when Strytor was fighting Krokol, Krokol was saying to Lycaxa before he fought Strytor was that, I'll see you in round 3. Really? It was Strytor, and it's kind of funny that these two got a matchup together. It's actually really funny. Really convenient as well, so I'm just laughing at that. I died of laughter when Lucas pointed it out to me. I was like, no! That's funny, that's actually really funny. But with that being said, we already know who's making it through to round 4 automatically. It's Wardock the Sky Terror. Okay, there we are. I gave a 10-second silence for that, just because I knew Lucas would want to do a very long, drawn-out cheer for that beast, because he loves this beast. So I decided to give him a long, drawn-out cheer, just so Lucas can properly be like, yeah, proper, really excited for Wardock to be in round 4. So now, because of these 2 beasts fighting, either Series 19 or Series 25 is being eliminated. I do not know which one. And quite frankly, I'm kind of terrified because I don't want to say goodbye to any of these beasts. But I'm going to have to. One of these beasts is going to need to make it through. There's one spot remaining. Both of them deserve that spot. There's a reason why I saved this battle for last. So, really, for the battlefield, I'm going to give it a rocky terrain, as both of these beasts were fought in a rocky terrain area, just with different temperatures. So, we're just going to have a neutral temperature and a rocky terrain area for both these beasts. So, with that being said, Lucas and Impus are both doing the stats for this one. So, Lucas, Impus, let's get to the stats.
Strytor the Skeleton Dragon. This beast forms himself out of a pile of bones, right before Tom and Eleanor's eyes. He takes the form of a vast skeletal dragon, glowing a hideous white against the night sky. Questers can see his fiery breath forming in his hollow belly, but are usually powerless to save themselves from his blasts. And now onto his abilities. Flight, Agile, Fire Breath, Reform and Deform Bones, Summon Skeleton Army, Sharp Fangs and Sharp Claws prove him one effective opponent in the tournament.
Questers beware! If you hear Lycaxa's bark, you may already be dead. Even though he's blind, Lycaxa has advanced hearing and the sense of smell. So advanced that he doesn't need his eyes. So, as you can see by his incredible stats, you're in for quite a challenge. Sharp claws, sharp fangs, high sense of smell, high sense of hearing, barks that create rock slides, earthquakes, and crevices depending on the environment, agility, wall crawling based on the poor design. You're in for quite a match against this cunning foe.
3, 2, 1!
Strytor versus Lycaxa. Let's get into this. So, with this fight, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. Because... this is the one fight I can't show bias. Because I love both of these beasts. And both of the respect levels for both of them have already gone through the roof for this. Okay. Let's get this over with. I know I'm going to need to say goodbye to one of them. So, as the chamber doors open, Strytor bursts through the sky exit with just like as a pile of bones. Little bolts of electricity just connecting each bone to the other. And Strytor is formed, making out a loud roar. The innards making a glowing orange. Breathing fire everywhere. A grand entrance. Strytor looks down towards the other side of the arena, looking at the chamber door to where he can hear a low growling to where where Lycaxa pounds out, howls in aggression, and Strytor realizes, and Lycaxa realizes that this was the opponent that Krokol was going to beat, but didn't. Lycaxa realizes that he can win. He can win. Strytor also knows that he can win as well. But who would? I don't know! As you can tell, I'm delaying the battle because I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Right, cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. Let's say goodbye to one of them. Okay, so Strytor breathes fire down towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa hears the crackling of the fire, jumps out of the way, and just feels around for a rock, picks it up and chucks it in the direction where he heard the fire coming. Strytor sees that, lifts his tail and whips it down back towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa is already moved out of the way though, and goes to chuck another rock at him. Another. Strytor gets hit by one of them where it comes a bit lower down. Lycaxa hears the collision between that and barks to where the top of the arena wall is just crumbling down a bit. Strytor looks up and sees a bunch of rocks coming down, parts of the arena coming down towards him, and he's like, "What? I didn't even break that yet." Strytor's just like, "I didn't even break that yet," and he just gets hit by the rocks where it comes lower down. Lycaxa charges up towards him, jumps up, and pins Strytor against the arena wall, making cracks go along the arena wall. And Lycaxa barks again to where it just tumbles down towards them. Lycaxa hears it, jumps out of the way, and Strytor just gets buried underneath the rubble. Lycaxa then barks again, creating a giant chasm coming up towards Strytor to bury him under. And as Strytor and the rubble starts falling down, Strytor bursts out of the rubble, roaring in aggression, coming out of the chasm, and just starts blowing fire and slashing and whipping his tail towards Lycaxa, which Lycaxa is able to hear and smell all that, jumping out of the way, just trying to dodge all of it, barking, creating more chasms, rock slides, everything, just to hit Strytor, and he realizes that it's not going to work, so he stops barking for a minute in the giant chasm that he's made, tons of chasms he's made. Lycaxa bounds up and jumps up to where he last heard where Strytor is, lands on top of Strytor's head and back, and starts digging his claws into the bone, where it just makes punctures. Punctures is not. It's not a tire. He's not a tire. Making cracks, faint cracks appear along Strytor. Strytor roars in pain, slowly making his way down. Lycaxa realizes that he can still hear the wing beats and has an idea. So what he does is he bounds up along Strytor's back and just slashes at the connection points of the wings, causing the wings to just fall off. Strytor and Lycaxa are both falling. Lycaxa jumps off of Strytor and goes to reach for the edge, goes to reach for a safe point of the arena, but he misses and digs his claws into the chasm wall before he falls down into it. Strytor has also done the same thing, can see Lycaxa and breathes fire towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa hears it and jumps off the wall, going to the other side, out of the way, gets up onto the safe point, and just starts barking, biting, barking, just causing the arena walls just start tumbling down rocks, and Lycaxa is also pushing rocks in to just hit Strytor down. It's like pretty much like a vertical vertical version of Donkey Kong. I think it's vertical going upwards, but it's just trying to avoid all the carnage coming down. Strytor's making its way up, and as he finally gets up, he's greeted by Lycaxa, who hears him and just digs his claws into the top of Strytor's mouth and starts biting down on it as well, just ripping, just trying to get at Strytor. Strytor is able to get back up, feeling the pain, using his claws, grabs Lycaxa by the shoulder blades, lifts him off of him, and chucks him to the other side of the arena. Lycaxa gets back up, very badly wounded from the bone impalement he's got. He's not giving in though. He can't see, but he can hear where Strytor is. Strytor is roaring in aggression. Lycaxa, not wanting to sound intimidated, just barks and howls back towards Strytor. Both of which just making loud noises. However, the barks that Lycaxa is making is causing more chasms to appear. Strytor being careful not to fall into the chasms, knowing that if he falls in, he's probably gonna die. Makes his way up towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa hears Strytor make his way towards him. Lycaxa jumps up, digging his claws into the arena wall and climbing up as Strytor's right behind him, breathing fire. Lycaxa jumps up, dodges it, and lands back on top of Strytor, dragging his claws through Strytor's ribcage, feeling the slight intense heat that Strytor is having in his fiery core. But his claws are breaking through the bone, but not dissembling Strytor. Strytor roars in aggression, and Strytor then continues climbing up the wall, perches on top of the wall, and then gives another roar of aggression, in which looking down on Lycaxa hears like a little rattling sound, and Lycaxa can only hear a bunch of rattling making its way up from a chasm which they were just climbing out of. Lycaxa realizes that it can't be Strytor, as Strytor is already at the top of the arena. So what Lycaxa only assumes is that it's the skeleton army that Strytor is summoned. Lycaxa, not wanting to be outnumbered, barks, causing the chasm to shift to where it just closes in on the skeleton army. They try protruding through the ground, but it doesn't seem to be working, as it's just back to normal. The bones have been crushed underneath the chasm. The arena back to normal, just a bunch more rocks. Strytor roars in anger, seeing that his skeleton army has no use for him anymore. So what he does is he breathes fire down towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa hears it and smells it, dodges it, barks a bunch of times, causing the arena walls to just cause cracks to appear, or crevices as they're called, and the arena just starts crumbling down. Strytor, being on top of it, realizes he's in danger. Lycaxa hears all the walls coming down, so he makes his way to the centre of the arena. Strytor jumps off the arena, braces for the impacts of landing onto the ground. He realises he's going to land on Lycaxa, so 2 for the price of 1 there. Strytor stays as quiet as he can, but due to the fiery innards he has, Lycaxa hears that Strytor is right on top of him. So he jumps out of the way just in time as the arena wall crashes down. Before Strytor crashes down, Strytor smacks himself into the ground, and Lycaxa jumps back onto it and starts going to try and break at Strytor's neck. He twists it. However, Lycaxa could still feel the heat coming from Strytor's innards. And Strytor is unmoving though. So Lycaxa, in confusion, is just trying to keep twisting at the neck. Strytor decides he has enough of playing dead, gets back up, and in Lycaxa's surprise, Strytor is just laughing at his face. Lycaxa, in confusion, is wondering how he didn't die from the neck breaking. Strytor, laughing menacingly, said, "You can't break my neck. I'm a bone man. I'm a skeleton. You can't break a skeleton's neck." Lycaxa, in confusion, realising a plot hole to that. So I can't break your neck, but I can break your wings. Strytor, in confusion, just in retaliation, just says, "Shut up." Lycaxa, just laughing at the fact he just caught Strytor out of his own plan. Lycaxa must have realised that Strytor lost his wings on purpose, just so he can raise the skeleton army from that. But it didn't work very well, did it? Lycaxa figures out a way which he can beat Strytor. So what he does is that he bounds up towards Strytor and impaling his claws on each of Strytor's talons, paws, legs, whatever you want to call them. Strytor, feeling the pain, goes to scratch at Lycaxa. Lycaxa senses it, ducks out of the way, and digs his claws, scratching at the Strytor's claw as well. And it goes to the point where Strytor's claws are really badly injured. He's limping around trying to get to him now. Strytor goes to whip his tail towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa hears the whooshing, ducks out of the way, and bites down on the tail, breaking it off. Strytor just reconnects it, and before Lycaxa can know, he barks. A chasm opens around Strytor. Strytor falls down, and digging his claws into the wall, he is climbing his way back out. Lycaxa barks again, and the chasm starts closing in on Strytor. Strytor, realising if he does that, he's a goner, so he climbs out as quick as he can, but Lycaxa's not having any of it. He barks again, causing the rocks from the rubble of the combat arena just rolling into the chasm in one big group, in which Strytor looks up, wide-eyed, realising that he's not going to be able to dodge that, and just tries to make his way through the rubble, just hitting him directly on the head and the body. He's feeling a lot of pain in his claws as they're very badly broken, but he's not giving in. He's not gonna give Lycaxa the privilege of going through to round 4 without him. The chasm is very nearly closed now. Strytor was able to get back out. However, his tail is trapped in there. He tries to get out and realizing he needs to let go of his tail. He doubles over and bites down on his tail, detaching it completely. Don't know what that sound was. That's detaching it completely and makes his way out, very badly wounded. Strytor says during a quick break, he says, "You're putting up more of a fight than Crocol did." Lycaxa howls back in retaliation, saying, "I killed a cloud. What did you kill?" Strytor said, "I killed a bird." He did, to be honest. Lycaxa wanting to finish this once and for all, jumps on top of Strytor again, and then starts digging at the skull, breaking it up as much as he can, ripping at the claws, the horns, the teeth of Strytor. Strytor, roaring in pain, lifts his claws up, digs it straight into Lycaxa's back. Lycaxa arches his back in pain, but still proceeding onwards. Strytor he's still biting and clawing at Strytor. Strytor is still just scratching and impaling his claws into Lycaxa. Both Lycaxa's really badly wounded, just bleeding all over the place. He's not giving in though. He simply refuses. Strytor very badly weak. Lycaxa decides that he needs to just get away just for a bit, just to heal back up as much as he can. Very badly wounded. Strytor was able to get back up, just making his way very weakly towards Lycaxa. Knowing without his wings and his tail, his main form of attack is now his claws and non-existent teeth, because his teeth have been ripped out and scratched out. Very badly wounded. Both of them are. Lycaxa charges back towards Strytor, not wanting to give Strytor a chance to even think about attacking him again. He slices through the wrists of Strytor's claws. Strytor's 2 weeks even reconnects them, and Strytor realizes he's got no way to attack Lycaxa. Strytor, even though with his ego, knows when he is going to lose. He tells Lycaxa to stop for a minute and says to him these words: "Congratulations, you've beaten the Slayer of Crocol. You have rightfully earned your place in round 4. I can't kill you now. If you're going to kill me, you're going to need to kill me in the way that you killed Rathkor, and that's with the chasm."
Oh, give it a rest.
Barks, a chasm opens, swallowing Strytor in, and with crevices at the bottom, Strytor closes his eyes as the stalactites, not crevices, as the stalactites impale Strytor's skull and bones, piercing right through the cracks that's already made in Strytor's bones. Strytor's fiery innards just fades away to nothing, and Strytor lets out one last groan of defeat before it fades to nothing. Lycaxa howls in victory, but also giving respects towards Strytor for giving him his last wish. Lycaxa limps his way back to his chamber wall, pledging to Strytor that he would win for him.
Yeah, right!
So with that being said, Lycaxa has won, Strytor has lost. That fight was wonderful. It was brilliant. I honestly loved that fight. So if you think Strytor should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that. However, I gave Lycaxa the win because even though I believe Strytor's personality is listed as ego but also cunning. I'm just going to check that actually. Cunning/ego. Okay, Lycaxa's personality is also cunning. Now, I gave the victory to Lycaxa because I tried to make the fight in a way where Strytor's ego got in the way of him winning. It was a good fight, don't get me wrong, I absolutely enjoyed that fight. But at the end of the day, the way I narrated it, Lycaxa won. So if you're not happy with the fact that Lycaxa won, I can't do anything about that. Lycaxa's gone on to the next round. Joining the other 6 beasts has already made it through. And Series 19 is gone forever. However, even though Series 19 has got eliminated, and I'm not happy that I had to say goodbye to this series. I'm not happy that I would have had to say goodbye to Lycaxa if Strytor won. Now, like I did with Griff, and like Lucas did with Grimon. Join me with this, Lucas. Strytor fought very valiantly throughout this entire tournament. Got 2 incredible kills on 2 very powerful beasts, Electro and Croco. And the fight was not in his favour for this fight here. So with that being said, Strytor, even though you have lost, I give you a salute for being one of the strongest beasts for making it this far. And in a way, it's just kind of a good thing you lost. That way, it's not an obvious winner here. We got 7 beasts remaining. None of them are obvious winner. And for that, Strytor, I'm going to give a 10-second silence for you, starting as soon as the timer hits 27, which is now. Right. So, Strytor, it's been nice knowing you. You made it this far. I'm proud of you for that. You've always been my favourite beast from Kingdom of Dragons, which you always has been. And I hope to see you do better in the next tournament. But, with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press that little notification bell down in the corner below. This has been round 3 of Battle of the Beasts, all in one sitting. Join me in round 4, where these 7 beasts will be fighting for a place in the top 4. Till then, peace out.